Hi guys. We're going to keep going over the timeline of life today, and we're going to focus on this little area right here. It's called the Silurian Period, and it lasted from 440 million years ago to 420 million years ago, which in the grand scheme of things is not very long, but to us that's 20 million years, and that is a long, long time. So what happened is at the end of the Ordovician period, Earth experienced its first great ice age. For the very first time, a lot of the water on Earth turned into ice. And that made the oceans recede and get lower, and it made the land more available. There was a lot more land, dry land, because so much of the water was stuck up in ice caps. So here's my card for the first great ice age. I'll kind of push that down there. There we go. So what happened is that there was a really big extinction. A lot of animals went extinct because there was simply less ocean for them to live in and more land. So a lot of animals went extinct. And one thing that really changed was plants. Because before this, we'd had a lot of algae and seaweed that lived in the ocean. And then ocean levels went down, and the very first vascular plants appeared on land, because some of that algae and seaweed stayed on the land and developed so that it could actually process the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and it developed a vascular system, which is veins. Where am I? Okay, yes. During this period, several other life forms also reached their peak. One is one that we've talked about already, the crinoid, the sea lilies. They just had a whole lot of diversity appear in the Silurian era. Remember, they appeared back here in the Cambrian era, but they, some of them turned into almost as big as modern trees. Just a lot of different ways that the crinoids appeared. The nautiloid developed a lot of new diversity in this period. Some of them, they became more diverse with spiral-shaped shells, like you can see here. And then they began to decline, and today we only have a few forms left, like this one that is still left. But they reached their peak here in the Silurian period. Coral reefs, which of course we also still have today, reached their peak in the Silurian period. Other declining life forms, so life forms that still existed but there weren't as many of them, were trilobites. We talked about how in the Ordovician period that was really the height of trilobites. But they still existed in the Silurian period, and actually for a ways longer, but they started to decline here. And many echinoderms, like the sea urchin and starfish that appeared in the Ordovician period, these still existed, but a lot of other kinds of echinoderms started to decline. Now the Eurypterid, the sea scorpion, these guys were excellent swimmers, and they existed in great abundance. So they survived this great extinction. They were arthropods, and we don't know for sure, but we think that they were the first animal to breathe air. So that's pretty exciting. And another animal that appeared in the Silurian period was the horseshoe worm. And then there's one animal that's just really exciting that appeared for the first time in the Silurian period, and that is primitive fish. You can see on our timeline here how this little Pterapsis, which actually I don't think was that little, bridges the Silurian and Devonian periods, and the same for the early shark. Both those things kind of appeared at the end of the Silurian period. So that is the Silurian period. We'll talk about the Devonian period next.